Questions of safety resurface following another electricity-related death at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Heavy rains damaged mid-Missouri crops. Hear from a Hartsburg farmer who is watching his corn drown in his fields.
And the governor signs a bill into law which will change who is responsible for the taxes on tips.
And overcast skies across the area for another backyard barbecue with some rain in the distance. KRCG 13 Live at 6 starts right now.
Live from across mid-Missouri, this is KRCG 13 Live at 6.
Good evening. Another death involving electric shock at the Lake of the Ozarks has community members wondering what local government can do to ensure dock safety.
Because the lake and shoreline are Ameren's property, local officials say they can't enforce ordinances or make rules regarding what happens in or near the water. Although the lake and shoreline is outside of city and county jurisdiction, officials say they will still work with the fire department and Ameren with water-related concerns. Officials said there are many resources at the lake to ensure dock safety.
If you've got a new dock, you're getting it inspected. If you're moving a dock, you should be getting it inspected. But if you have an older dock that maybe hasn't had an upgrade in a while, you know, the fire department will be able to help you on what those codes are and what you need to have. And I'm sure there's hundreds of new electricians around.
Osage Beach city officials say the city and fire district work with Ameren on lake-related projects. We told you Monday night how 3 Jefferson City lifeguards had saved the life of a drowning man at a local swimming pool over the weekend.
KRCG 13's Stephanie Harada today spoke with those heroes about their first experience at putting their training to the test. She joins us now in the studio with that. Stephanie?
Megan, Kermit, those 3 Jefferson City lifeguards had never been in a situation like that before. They told me they've had plenty of training and practice on simulators, but never actually on a real person. And it was an experience they won't soon forget. 20-year-old Spencer Wolf, 17-year-old Casey Heiberger, and 16-year-old Sam Dudenhafer are being called heroes after saving a 21-year-old man's life Sunday afternoon. The man tried to hold his breath while swimming the length of the pool and went unconscious. The trio worked together to get his pulse and breathing back before EMS arrived. They used their skills in CPR and delivered 1 shock to him using a defibrillator.
Everything that I did was adrenaline, and coming off of that, it just hit me, and I kind of lost it. I was crying, and I was very emotional, and it was just, you know what we just did, it was pretty hard.
All 3 lifeguards believe their vigorous training prepared them for the worst, and they are relieved by the outcome. Reporting for KRCG 13, I'm Stephanie Harada.
Stephanie, thank you. Heavy rains and flooded fields are destroying crops across mid-Missouri.
A Hartsburg farmer tells KRCG 13's Mark Slavitt some of his crops are drowning in mud.
Some sections of Hartsburg farmer Terry Hilgedick's crop are standing in more than 3 feet of water. He's not the only one with this problem. Farmers all across mid-Missouri will have smaller crops this year because of the recent heavy rains. A combination of heavy rains and floodwater from the Missouri River is destroying parts of Hilgedick's corn and soybean crops in southern Boone County. He says that's bad news for farmers, soybean product producers, and consumers.
Consumers benefit from big yields and low prices, and we have the prices are undetermined as of yet, but the yields are going to be low in Missouri. Going to be tough year on beans this year.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Missouri is behind every other state in corn and soybean crop conditions and the amount of unplanted acres planned for corn and soybean plants. There are about 4 million acres of unplanted soybeans in Missouri this year. That's about half of the state's soybean crop.
They've had some big rains kind of north of here over the last few days that have held that river up. So once again, it's kind of a wait and see game. If we run out of time, we run out of time. That's just beyond our control.
Hilgedick planted his corn in April and his soybeans in May. He says it will be difficult to replant his crops because it's nearly impossible to get his farm equipment in his muddy fields. In Hartsburg, Mark Slavitt, KRCG 13.
Terry Hilgedick says his crops have been hurt not only by water but on the ground, but by lack of sunlight from rainy, overcast skies.
And now, your KRCG 13 Storm Vision first weather.
We are live at your backyard barbecue out at Osage Bend tonight with the Kolb family and some overcast skies and even a little bit of rain off in the distance. You can see some of the rain curtains there on the horizon, even some lightning off in the distance, getting quite a bit of some heavy rain across parts of the capital, and even Dan Cobb's neighbor down in St. Thomas. In case you're watching, he's got pea-sized hail, so we are getting some hail reports out of this. No severe warnings at this time, no watches, but we are going to find quite a bit of heavy rainfall as the storm moves overhead. Here's the loop over the last 6 hours, and again, pretty much right around the capital area or just south of the capital, hitting the Wardsville and St. Thomas area, obviously picking up a little bit of that rain. Some light rain back off to the north, and we'll continue to find a little bit of some of that rain. As far as rain amounts, officially nothing as of 6 o'clock. We'll find those numbers updated as we get a little later on tonight. Otherwise, a quarter of an inch or so for the lake area since midnight. Temperatures, we're in the 80s, 82 degrees right now. Jefferson City, the lake at 79 and 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s all across the state. So a wide variety of the temperatures based on the rain. And we'll continue to find that chance for some storms here as we go into your Tuesday evening. We'll talk a little more about Wednesday and the summer heat that returns coming up in your full forecast. Back to you.
Zach, thank you. A bill signed by Governor Jay Nixon this week will ensure restaurant owners are not liable for the underreporting of cash tips by their workers. Just like other employers, restaurant owners withhold money for taxes against the wages they pay their workers. But it is up to the workers to tell their bosses how much they have collected in cash tips. The Missouri Department of Revenue has audited hundreds of restaurants, and when the auditors have found the reported cash tips less than the tips tracked through credit cards, the state has declared the cash tips to be underreported and has required the restaurant to make up the difference.
What that change is doing is for underreported tip income, we are making it the underreporting employee's problem as opposed to the employer's problem, because after all, they're not the one underreporting. Is that a fair assessment of,
yes,
of what that does? Okay.
Under the new law, the restaurant owner cannot be held liable if the worker underreports. Lawmakers this year passed separate legislation to eliminate a part of a restaurant's sales tax that many patrons may not realize they are paying.
Right now, if you have a group of greater than 8 and they assess a gratuity on your bill, you pay sales tax on it.
Now, House Bill 517, which still awaits action by the governor, eliminates that sales tax if the automatic gratuity is reported as tip income and the restaurant withholds income tax on it. However, last year, the Internal Revenue Service ruled that automatic gratuities are revenue for the restaurant and must be taxed as sales. The IRS says the amount turned back over to the server is a wage, not a tip, and the obligation then falls back on the server to declare the income for taxation purposes. Things are heating up at tonight's backyard barbecue.
That's where they're making an unusual dinner item on the grill. Zach has more on that and your forecast next on KRCG 13 live at 6.
And now, your KRCG 13 Storm Vision Forecast with Zach Paul.
Welcome back. We are live out at Osage Bend. It's another backyard barbecue. Again, a little bit rainy now, and I'm glad we've got an overhang. Nikki and Dan Cobb, thanks so much for having us out here. Congratulations. You won the KRCG 13, the backyard barbecue with the Missouri Beef Council and the Jefferson City Hy-Vee. And again, I'm thankful that we've got this overhang right now.
Yes. Hopefully the rain won't last long.
Well, it'll just blow through, right? It's just going to blow through. I think that's what we're looking at here on the radar. We'll talk a little bit about that. But you've got a gorgeous family and friends here. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yes, thank you. We've got my husband Dan here, my daughter Whitney, my son Hunter, and we've got some extended family here, my sister-in-law Tammy and Jerry, and her kids Brett and Courtney Cobb, and my mother Elaine Schmidt, and my mother-in-law Ruth Cobb. So we got a good crew here.
Very cool. Well, again, congratulations. Thanks so much for having us. You got a great spot right out here, and of course the Osage River is just right off behind me there, and you could see this. We could see the storm for the last half hour rolling in, and now the winds, of course, starting to pick up. And Whitney, let's get right into it. And something cool I learned about Whitney. Going to be a senior at Blair Oaks, is that right? And she knows sign language. So if you watch the backyard barbecues, I always have someone help me out with the weather. Well, we're going to go through the almanac, and if you're able to, sign the almanac for us. Are you able to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe. I'll try.
Okay. What was the high today?
84.
And how do you sign that?
You go 8 and 4.
8 and 4. Now, my hands are full. I can't do it, so I'm going to rely on you. All right. And what about the low?
72.
72. And how does that look? You guys catching that at home? Again, this is sign language. This is some basic stuff. And what about rain? Have we had any rain officially?
Yes, we have.
It might not have registered there at 6 o'clock, but here in Osage Bend, we have got some rainfall. Again, guys, thanks so much. Whitney, thanks so much. Again, good luck with the upcoming school year as well. Hey, well, let's get right into it. Again, you've got it 84 your high, low 72. Officially as of 6 o'clock, no rainfall, but obviously that has quickly changed, at least in our location. Here's what it looks like over the last 6 hours. And there is one heavy cell moving right through Cole County right now, and a few areas of some light showers back up to the northwest. And again, there was some pea-sized hail reported out in St. Martin's earlier. One of Dan's friends said he had hail out there, and it's raining in sheets. And yeah, if you're in this cell, you are finding that even a little bit of lightning with this cell. Temperatures have cooled back down into the low to mid 80s, or excuse me, low to mid 70s. A couple areas still in the lower 80s. 83 degrees right now in Fulton, 83, Fulton 82 right now in Lynn. Here's what it looks like in Jefferson City. Overcast skies, maybe a few peaks of some sunshine off in the distance there. A live look on our Scruggs Lumber camera, 82 degrees. It feels like 85 with winds out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. As far as what it looks like across the region, well, it is a little bit wet, especially across parts of the Show Me State. We've got that one heavy cell moving right through the capital area and through Cole County, but a few light showers back up north of I-70 with a little bit of some moderate rain, and we will find that chance for some rain here this evening. Not everybody's going to get wet, though. That's the one thing to remember. We will find a warm front continue to lift north as we go through the day on your Wednesday. That's going to return the heat and humidity as we go through the day, some breezy south winds, and much more summer-like temperatures. As we go into your Thursday, it's going to be another warm and windy day. Again, a lot more humidity. We're going to find that heat index approaching 100 degrees over the next couple of days. But late Thursday night, we're going to find a cold front. That's going to slide through. And late Thursday night into the day on Friday, that's going to trigger some showers and thunderstorms, especially for your Friday. Tomorrow morning, we'll find temperatures right around 70 degrees. A couple areas maybe dropping into the upper 60s. But it's going to be a hot afternoon tomorrow. High temperatures in the lower 90s. That heat index tomorrow afternoon, we're going to climb into the upper 90s. Some areas will be close to 100 degrees. That trend will continue for your Thursday, but we will find dry conditions for Thursday Night Live. And the rain moves in for Friday with that cold front. That's going to cool us down. Quite a bit of rain possible on Friday, but pleasant conditions for the weekend with high temperatures right around 80 degrees. Again, we're here in Osage Bend. We got a little bit of lightning outside. We got some rain. We've got the Kolb family. You guys ready for some barbecue? All right, guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Zach.
And some thunder.
Yeah, well, speaking of thunder, another thing is going to get mid-Missouri a little bit noisier.
Fireworks from stands that are going up in preparation for the 4th. That story next on KRCG 13 live at 6. The 4th of July is just around the corner, and fireworks tents are popping up in the area.
KRCG 13's Courtney Joden joins us in the studio to explain what goes into making these firework tents a success.
If you've been driving around lately, you might see circus-like tents popping up in the area. These tents are filled with fireworks that are only sold within a 2-week span. TJ's Fireworks has set up in Holt Summit for 20 years. Owner TJ Gibson says he got started in the business with his dad when he was 15 years old, and he has carried the tradition since. Gibson says they have to prepare 2 to 3 months ahead of time to be ready since they are a mom and pop shop. He says a lot of time and investments go into making each year a success.
Lots of licensings, fire marshal, you still got to set up a business. City has ordinance too. You got to go with state laws on seasons. So, and then the city sometimes will have different laws from the state. So it's just one of them things you got to check your area and then go through the right channels and figure it out.
According to the state, fireworks that do not require a permit must contain less than 2,500 grains or less of explosive compounds, such as party poppers, toy tanks, or toy guns. The last day to buy fireworks at the tents is July 10th. The state issues more than 1,300 permits to manufacturers and distributors each year. I'm Courtney Joden reporting for KRCG 13.
All right, thanks, Courtney. Well, honors continue to roll in from Mizzou baseball standouts.
And the Royals look to build on the AL's best record. Rod joins us next with sports.
And welcome back to our backyard barbecue. We're at Osage Bend at the Cobb's house, and look at this beautiful cake that we have. It is party time at the backyard barbecue. That is a great touch. And how about the pizzas? Didn't Chef Gerardo and Mandy do a great job on the pizzas today from your Jefferson City Hy-Vee, all grilled? That's right, you can grill pizzas. Not a bad job. And Mark Russell from the Beef Council, always here to educate us on beef.
Right, and we've got a great recipe tonight with the beef and caramelized onions. It's just a great recipe. They can get on our site, mobeef.org, to get it. You know, over the summer, we've talked about niacin, we've talked about protein, we've talked about zinc, but tonight we're talking about selenium. Selenium is an important nutritional thing that we need in our diets, and beef is a great source of selenium. So, you know, we're excited to be part of that and telling people about the other nutrients that are so important in beef.
Good deal. Selenium. We've all learned something tonight. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. I can tell you about the Cardinals, not much about selenium, but the Cardinals, they're underway right now in Miami. It is Carlos Martinez starting for the Cardinals. You know, if the All-Star break were to start right now, the Cardinals would have 3 All-Stars starting in the game, and those being Matt Carpenter, Matt Holliday, and Johnny Peralta. How about the Royals? They would have 7, believe it or not. Yeah, Zach Paul knows all about that. 7 starting for the Royals if the voting were to end today. Royals out west, late start with Seattle. Kansas City beat the Mariners 4-1 last night. Joe Blanton, the Royals' new starter, retiring 16 in a row after giving up an early home run. Blanton got the win. He is 2-0 with Kansas City. Meanwhile, College Baseball World Series could end tonight if the defending champion Vanderbilt Commodores win again. That would give the SEC yet another national championship. Vandy beat Virginia last night 5-1 in the first of the best-of-3 finals in Omaha. The Commodores, a loss tonight, would force a Game 3 tomorrow night. Mizzou Tiger pitcher Tanner Houck, meanwhile, is a baseball All-American, second-teamer for freshmen. He was also a Louisville Slugger freshman All-American. Houck won 8 games with a 3.49 ERA in his first year with the Tigers. High school summer basketball leagues going on all across the state, but for the first time ever, Lincoln University is hosting a league each Monday night. Among the local teams involved, Blair Oaks, Fatima, Elias, Russellville, Lynn, Camdenton, and Smith Cotton. They will try to finish up that next week. Good program, all at LU and put on by basketball coach John Mosley. Again, we are with Nikki and Dan Cobb and their friends here in Osage Bend. The pizza is out. Dan, you've had a lot of pizza in your life. Have you ever had any off the grill?
No, I can't say that I have.
All right, well, we're going to try it out here and see what you think. Nikki, check it out. Guys, get a little taste of that, and we'll be back with Zach Paul with the weather in a little bit, and we will get the final tabulations on not the All-Star voting, but how much they like this pizza. Oh. All right, okay. Kermit, Megan, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Rob.
Good. All right, Zach, we'll have a final check of the weather when we come back.
Welcome back to the Backyard Barbecue in Osage Bend with the Kolb family. A little wet at our Backyard Barbecue, but we've got a wonderful little patio to hang out on. But there is some lightning off in the distance, and we will continue to find a chance for some storms here this evening. Tomorrow morning, you'll find temperatures starting off in the lower 70s. Overall, though, not everybody going to get this rain tonight. As far as the O's that you're hearing, that's because there's lightning off in the distance here. We will continue to find dry conditions for your Thursday. Temperatures are going to warm up into lower 90s. The heat index tomorrow into Thursday is going to be close to 100 degrees. But we will be dry for your Thursday night live. A cold front moves in late Thursday night, and that's going to bring more showers and thunderstorms to the area and keep us with a good chance for some rain in your forecast for Friday. But notice that's also going to cool temperatures down into the upper 70s and the lower 80s for the weekend. So as mentioned, we're here at Osage Bend. We've got the Kolb family. We've got our pizzas. We've got some grilled salad. And again, with the Missouri Beef Council of Jefferson City Hy-Vee, how is it so far, guys? Good. I think they approve. Megan, Kermit, back to you.
All right, thanks.
If they have any extras, we'll take it.
Yeah, always. There is a transition of leadership in the Missouri Supreme Court. We'll have that story at 10.
We'll see you then. Have a great night.